Last Down Podcast, episode 10, where we react to the draft, the NFL draft, first 3 rounds. But we're going to start off with the first round. I'm your boy, Anguiano.
I'm Lopez. Welcome to the Last Down Podcast, special episode 10. We've made it. And like you said, we're going to discuss the draft. Happened last night as of we're recording on Friday. Happened last night and earlier today. So it's time. Time to decide.
Time to talk about who did good, who didn't. But we're going to start off with the first round. I would like to point out that I only got the first 2 picks right, technically.
Yeah.
I predicted Richardson to the Colts, but obviously through a trade. And I think that's literally pretty much it for me.
Yeah, I got 5 right. So I got, obviously, number 1, number 2, Bryce Young going to the Panthers, C.J. Stroud to the Texans, Anthony Richardson to the Colts, and also Brian Breesy to the Saints, and I think the final... Zay Flowers to the Ravens, yes. Those were the only choices that I got right, so yeah, pretty bad. But I mean, it's a mock draft for a reason. They're not going to be 100%. A lot of people's... this draft, especially, a lot of mock drafts were busted.
Yeah. So we're gonna actually give grades, and I'll start off first. I think the Panthers selecting Bryce Young, that's a A- to me.
Really?
Yeah, A-. I feel like Bryce Young. Simply, it's still an A just because he got a quarterback, but I don't think Bryce Young is gonna be the best of the best, so that's why A-.
I give it an A. I give it an A because it's the best quarterback in the draft. They went for him. They traded up all the way for him, and they traded a lot of pieces. DJ Moore, obviously, and a couple first round, couple picks. So it's an A for me. Yeah.
Let's just hope he doesn't get hurt. I mean, everyone's concerned about his size, and it is something that's concerning because I'm not even that much smaller than him, and I'd consider myself kind of small.
Yeah.
And then now, if you have anything else to say.
No. I think it was a great choice. Yeah.
So, Texans, C.J. Stroud. I think I hate it for C.J. Stroud, but the move is an A for me.
Hmm?
I think that's a great pick at number 2. And what you think, A?
A as well. Yeah, second best quarterback. I had no doubts. There was a lot of murmurs. I will say, off the schedule, I guess, I tried to react on Thursday to the draft, the first round, and I tried recording it, and it wasn't working out. Like, I was having some problems, so I was like, damn. So when I was hearing that Adam Schefter was saying that they were potentially going to get a defensive tackle, defensive end, I was laughing, and I was laughing because I was like, there's no way they're going to not go C.J. Stroud. So... Again, like you said, an A. I give it an A. They got the second best quarterback in the draft.
And then here's where the craziness begins.
Yep.
When the Cardinals and the Texans trade, and they get Will Anderson.
Will Anderson Jr. Yep.
I think that's an A+, actually. I do think that's great. Overall, I say the first round perfectly executed by the Texans.
Yeah. So the third overall pick, I have here the details. The Texans traded away their 12th pick, 33rd pick, and their first and third round picks for 2024. And in my opinion, the Cardinals fleeced. In my humble opinion, the Texans, for a team that's rebuilding, I feel like they kind of did give away a little too much for the return that they got. So, yes, they got Will Anderson Jr. And I give it, if I'm honest, I give it an A because obviously it's Will Anderson Jr. The perennial top defensive player in the draft. So, good for them. Good for the Texans. Solid pickups. I just think they gave away too much for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we include the trade, I wouldn't give it an A+, but I'm talking about specifically the pick. A+.
Yeah.
But if we include it with the trade, I will give it more of like a C.
C. Yeah.
Just because it's a little too much for me. But Will Anderson is certainly NFL ready front 7-piece. Defensive end,
Yeah, so I can't give... I gotta still give him credit,
Yeah. I mean, they did what they needed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Anthony Richardson at 4. I sensed it for months. I mean, months.
Yeah.
And I told you why.
Yeah.
At first, I felt like you were kind of against it, but then you started realizing...
No,
I was not smoking crack.
No, definitely. Once I started seeing more and more news about the Colts looking for a quarterback, I knew like they were either gonna go Will Levis or Anthony Richardson. And the Anthony Richardson hype was growing more and more and more.
And I said this before Combine, too.
Yes. He said, in one of the previous clips,
first
episode, he said, in my mind, he's an Indianapolis Colt.
Yep.
And it happened. He manifested it. He said it, and it's here. We're here day after the draft, and he's a Colt. And
A+. Yeah, I don't even have to say why at this point.
I give it an A. I mean, I don't like giving A pluses unless it's like someone that I think is like a generational talent. But it's an A. It's the best move the Colts could have done.
Exactly. JT's there.
Yeah.
They have bigger weapons for him. They
Yeah.
have a decent line, even though last year was kind of inconsistent. But I still think they can turn it around.
You got Michael Pitts there. You know,
Michael Pitts,
Pittman, Michael Pittman. So as long as the Colts, stay healthy, hey man, watch out for them. That's all I gotta say. Watch out for them.
And then next, the Seahawks got Devon Witherspoon. Great player. I don't think they needed him though.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a B minus. A B minus.
I think your bias is kicking in. I think your Rams bias is kicking in because Devon Witherspoon, I think at the 4th pick.
Wait, hold on. How is that bias?
5th pick.
I'm saying that's probably not their biggest need.
Not really. I mean, I think it is. It's not okay. It's not their biggest need. They could have gone obviously offensive line, but
Tyree. He was still available.
Yeah, but Devon Witherspoon is obviously a top 10 talent, and you're partnering him with Quadri Diggs and the other guy. I forgot what his name was.
Tariq Woolen.
Yes.
He's already solidified himself as like a top 10 corner. Right?
Yeah. Well, guess what? You're making a 3-headed monster right there with those 3 guys. So, in a conference where wide receivers are crazy, you have wide receivers like DeAndre Hopkins. You have wide receivers like
Cooper
Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Debo. Like, you need the best corners that you can get, and so I think that's why I give it an A minus. Yes, I do agree. Tyree Wilson was there. Jalen Carter was there, but it's fine for the Seahawks. It's fine.
Like I said, I'm not biased because if I was a Seahawks fan, I'd probably still say A or something.
But a B minus, it's a little too low.
I mean, you have your opinions, I have mine.
All right.
But at number 6, the Cardinals, Paris Johnson Jr. I understand, and I actually didn't know this until I heard it and saw reports that apparently Kyler Murray wanted that.
Yeah.
And given the context, and I understand the pick, I'm gonna give it a B plus.
B plus. I think I kind of do agree with that. B plus, A minus. I'm in that range. Paris Johnson. I said it on the last one too. He is arguably a top 2 offensive lineman. I thought Peter Skoronski was going to be the first one off the board, going to the Bears. But hey, the Cardinals need offensive line, and if they want to satisfy their boy Kyler, that's the right move. Yeah, it's the right move. They could have had Jalen Carter or Tyree, but
that's why I said B plus. Simply because I don't think them going without, they can't go too long without a front set.
But they addressed it today. We'll discuss that later on today. Yeah.
And then the Raiders, Tyree Wilson at number 7. A plus. I don't feel like the injury concerns. It's whatever.
Yeah.
What he did at Texas Tech.
Dominated.
His highlight reel. I'm like, dang.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I wouldn't have even been surprised if he would have been top 5.
Right.
That's why I had him going to Seattle.
Me too. Yeah, I think the Raiders got a solid pick, and I kind of do agree with the A plus pick. The A plus. Tyree fell all the way to the Raiders. I thought they were gonna go like Jalen Carter or like maybe. Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And
Tyree I think that's a great pick.
Tyree fell into their laps.
I like that pick.
Yeah. At least the Raiders didn't reach for freaking Myles Murphy like you had him.
I was just being logical. But hey, there's some we're getting to the good part.
Okay, bet.
Atlanta Falcons, number 8, Bijan Robinson.
Oh.
I give that a D minus because the Falcons, they have too many needs. And they choose Bijan after Tyler Algier literally rushed 1K.
Yeah,
and he's from my city, so I'm actually offended right now.
No, yeah, that was honestly the shocker of the move. If I thought the team, like I said previously, the lowest or the highest team that I had him going to was the Eagles at number 10, and the Falcons selecting him is very, very shocking. And so I give this grade a C minus, C minus, because yes, he has value, but at a 7th pick, eighth pick,
but still,
it's a reach. It's a big reach. If anything, the Cardinals could have traded back in and gotten him maybe like in the 20th or even the 17th pick. But
honestly, I don't know what Atlanta wants to do. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
yeah,
I get they love running, but I don't even know if Cordell's under contract. But for sure, Algier's there.
yeah,
And I literally thought he's the franchise RB.
yeah,
For at least the next few years after
Correct.
2022.
yeah. I thought so too, and they threw a curveball at us, and I just feel bad for Tyler. I do, like you said, I feel bad for him because
That was crazy. That was bad.
yikes, yeah. But I mean, it's not gonna be the first one.
D minus, yeah.
See.
And then now number 9, Jalen Carter, A plus. I feel like right there is great for the Eagles.
Right.
I don't even know how they replenished so easily.
Right.
A plus.
Yeah, Eagles getting Jalen Carter is going to be one of the biggest steals of the draft. In at least the first round. That is beyond crazy, beyond my imagination. I had him getting Devon Witherspoon or secondary piece, but Jalen Carter fell into their laps.
I wouldn't. I mean, they lost who? They lost to the Niners. What's his name? I can't remember off the top of my head. Hargrave,
yes.
They lost Hargrave to the Niners, the defensive tackle that went off. Now they got another one that could probably be like that.
Yeesh. And if anything, if Fletcher Cox retires, he will take over that spot. So, hey, like the Eagles, they're. All I'm gonna say is the Eagles built something. They Howie Roseman, he cooked. That's all I'm gonna say.
And then Bears getting the O lineman Darnell Wright. I don't know who he is that well, but they addressed the Reese need. I'm gonna give it a B plus just because I don't know who he is, to be honest.
You're messed up, dude. Darnell Robinson.
Not Robinson.
Darnell.
Right. Darnell Wright.
Yeah. Darnell. Wait, Darnell Wright from Tennessee. Great pick. I thought he was gonna go to the Jets, but it is what it is. But I will say this: although they satisfied their need, I give it a B minus.
Bias.
No, not biased. No, not biased. You know why I'm not biased?
What?
Because Peter Skoronski was still there. And Peter Skoronski was obviously the best offensive lineman next to Paris Johnson Jr. So getting Darnell Wright was a little bit, I don't know. I feel like if they should have got him Peter Skoronski there. Unless they don't need a guard, because I know Peter Skoronski plays the guard, more of a guard position or interior offensive lineman. So maybe Darnell Wright is more what they wanted in a tackle.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'll give it a B. Highest B. Yeah.
And then 11th, as you mentioned, Peter Skoronski. After learning the fact that the Titans did lose a good amount of O linemen, I'll give it an A.
I told you.
I'll give it an A.
I told you.
I guess I was wrong. I was wrong thinking they need a tackle, but they do need it, obviously.
Big time.
Especially given the fact that they're going to rely on Henry like crazy. Yeah, A.
Yeah. Speaking about that, there was rumors about Henry getting traded over our span of the last episode. There was rumors.
If it happens, man. Hey, and they drafted a running back too.
Yeah. So, hey, we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. But Philadelphia might be the suitors over there. Might be interesting out there.
Yeah. What do you think? Give Skoronski though?
Oh,
A?
Skoronski to the Titans. I give it an A. Yeah, great move. Yep.
And now the Lions, bro. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Ooh.
D. I mean, I don't know what the heck they think. Jahmyr Gibbs could have been there for them in the second round.
Right.
First off. Second off, they have Swift and Montgomery. So, to me, it just feels like they're going to try to trade Swift. But I just don't like the move at all, Detroit. I thought you guys were smarter than that.
Yeah.
D.
When I saw this draft, when I saw the selection, I know Anguiano was at work, so we couldn't react to it. But I knew like he would be laughing, and I was laughing.
I was actually laughing. Bro.
I can't believe the Lions reached for a second round running back. I give this a freaking D minus. This is like he said. This is like honestly the worst possible choice. You have Swift. You have Montgomery. It's
They skipped over Christian Gonzalez, who would have been great, or any of the secondary pieces. They're still pretty much all of them except Witherspoon.
Yeah, you had Forbes, you had Gonzalez, you had Banks. Like, what are you doing? Cam Smith, even. Like, what are you doing?
Even the front seven piece, bro. Like,
yeah,
who? Like freaking Cansey. I would even if it was Cansey at 12, I would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
Because he is a sleeper.
Right. And
Van Ness was even all right for me in that point.
Yeah, and so Detroit, you messed up, but we won't be done talking with you guys.
Packers, Lucas Van Ness. I think that's a great need for them. Given the fact that they did not address receiving in the first round, I'm gonna give it a B plus. A B plus. I still like how he plays. Front seven piece, great for the Packers. I don't know why he how do you feel about your team getting Lucas Van Ness in the first round?
Roll the tape. I have a clip. Roll the tape.
You gotta be kidding me.
Right here.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Man, I'm disappointed. But Corpian.
Give your bias grade first.
Okay, I won't give it a grade. I'll be honest. Lucas Van Ness there is not a bad choice. It's not a bad choice. After reflecting last night, I was like, you know what? It's all right. Like, it's all right. We definitely needed a front seven piece. And our defensive line is obviously getting older. And I know Rashawn Gary's this is his last year on contract, so I don't mind it. Lucas Van Ness, great player, solid player. I give it a B plus. I also agree with your take. He's a great player, and I was rooting for Jackson Smith, but it is what it is. I don't mind it.
I know for a fact that if it was Jackson Smith, he would have been like,
I would
in heaven.
I would have brought my Packers jersey. I would have been all happy and shit. But it is what it is. We move on.
That's how you know we're not happy about our teams. We ain't even wearing it right now.
Nah, we're not. Honestly.
And then 14th, Broderick Jones to the Steelers. I'll give it a A, just because I understand the concept. I mean, Najee needs a little bit more protection, offensive line.
Yeah.
And the Steelers in general, they needed some old linemen. Even though I thought they're gonna kind of go secondary maybe in the first round, but
yeah.
Still give it an A.
No, I agree. I was shocked that Christian Gonzalez was right there, and I was very surprised he dropped that low. So I was like, oh, the Steelers are gonna go Christian Gonzalez, but nope, they went for obviously Broderick Jones, which is not a bad pick. I also give it a pretty B plus, A minus type of grade. It works out for the Steelers. They need a defensive line, and Kenny Pickett can rest. He can sleep peacefully tonight, or the previous night. Yeah.
And now the Jets getting under the first pick under the Aaron Rodgers regime. They get Will McDonald. I don't know why he's shaking his head, but I think that's not a bad move. But I feel like that he needed a little bit of protection. Therefore, I'm gonna give it a B minus. A B minus.
Yeah, I'm shaking my head because the Jets should have been more aggressive, and they should have seen that Peter Skoronski was kind of dropping that he dropped kind of low to the Titans. I think that's where they should have been aggressive in addressing the offensive line, because you're realizing that there's teams that need offensive line coming up. Like the Lions could take offensive tackles. The Steelers definitely needed it. So I feel like the Jets at that point should have been aggressive and be like, hey, Steelers, let's swap picks. And this is the consequence. They didn't get any top offensive linemen, which was, tough. So I give Will McDonald, I wouldn't discredit him, great player. Saw his tape after. I give it a B minus.
And then 16, Emmanuel Forbes. I've heard a little bit about him. I've seen a little bit about him. But given the fact that Christian Gonzalez was still there, I got to give this a C+. I got to give this a C+. I feel like the Commanders addressed their need, but I feel like there's a better option out there, so C+.
Yeah, I agree as well. Christian Gonzalez dropped too low. He dropped too low for me, and any team that passed up on him, it's probably going to regret it. I feel like it. So I give the pick a C.
Then Christian Gonzalez, Patriots, I don't know how he dropped that low.
Yeah.
But A+. I feel like that's a great pick. Now, New England, they're trash, though, so, I mean, I think he'll just be great for them, but they're trash.
And I don't mind it. N'Keal Henry gets is it N'Keal Henry?
Who?
The other cornerback on the
I think no, his last name is Jones.
Nikhil Jones. Yeah, he gets
No, I forgot his first name, bro,
I think
but
it's
I know
Nikhil
it's
Jones.
not. Nikhil Harry is a receiver.
Okay, my bad. Anyways, yes, he gets a great partner at cornerback with Christian Gonzalez. Great, solid pick. A+. Yeah, the Patriots got a steal.
Now the Lions at 18, they got Jack Campbell, who at first I honestly had to look him up. I looked at him a little bit more.
Yeah.
Apparently he won the Butkus Award in 2022 for Iowa. Great player.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a little bit of a reach, so I got to give it a B-.
You see, I didn't know he won the Butkus Award until you told me previously. Before the
Off air.
Off air basically, and it was a reach. Even then, it was a big reach. I think they should have addressed offensive. They should have.
If they could have, I would have honestly said if they would have even gotten JSN at 18, I would have given that A-. Because given the receiver state right there.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think at that one you at least get a defensive piece and a better defensive piece, like maybe interior defensive lineman or a D tackle. But yeah, I mean a linebacker that wasn't even projected first round. Yeah, that's a tough one. It's a slight reach. I give it a C+.
I mean, that's fair enough. I don't know. I'll be honest. I was disappointed as fuck in the Lions.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Lions fan. I'm like, bro, you had all these picks and you're just reaching.
Yeah, the Lions reached, and that was the story of their draft basically. I just feel
it's like they wanted the attention at that point.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, what are you doing? Who's drafting for you guys? Are you guys getting sabotaged? Like, it's. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not trying to be biased.
Exactly though. No, you got a point.
Who's sabotaging you guys?
What made them think
Gibbs was first round talent? You got to be kidding me, man. That's tough.
Okay, it's more like what makes them think that Gibbs is what they need first thing in the freaking draft.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a running back when we already have Swift, Montgomery. We need more. We need to cover Goff as much as we can from his midness.
Yep.
Nah, but on to Kalijah Kancey. I love the pick. He's a sleeper. I'm gonna give this an 8.
Well, this is where I address the elephant in the room. Will Levis, he dropped all the way to the second round. And I thought Will Levis at this point, he dropped down. The Titans didn't take him. The Lions didn't take him. The Commanders didn't take him.
In the first round, though. Because, I mean...
Yeah, no, I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
So it got to the Bucks. And so I'm like, okay, my prediction's going to happen. Will Levis is going to be a Buccaneer. Nope. They get Kalijah Kancey, which is a great pickup. Give into the tank. That's what I think that's going to happen. The Bucks are going to tank. They're going to get Caleb Williams. They're going to get Drake May. One or the other. So, sorry, Will Levis. You should have been a Buck, but it's unfortunate. So I give Kalijah Kancey a B+.
I guess that makes sense. Because apparently you thought Levis was first round talent, but it's clear that putting mayonnaise in your coffee is gonna drop your drop stack.
I didn't think he was top 5, but I definitely thought he was first round talent. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I feel like that's what he was.
But anyway, JSN to the Seahawks. I feel like unbiased. That's like a A-. A-.
How do you like that he's in your division?
If he becomes like an Amon-Ra St. Brown for Geno Smith, I'll hate it. What else am I gonna say? This fool's gonna carve us up 10 receptions, 100 yards. I'm not trying to see that.
DK Metcalf.
But this kind of to me, this kind of means though.
Tyler Lockett.
This kind of means that the Seahawks are like low key contenders in the NFC now.
I don't think in the NFC. I think
in the NFC.
You really think so?
Yes.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind, and not in my opinion.
They might give the Niners a real challenge now. I'm not actually lying. They got a secondary on lock now. They still adjust their front seven.
Yes, they did.
In the offseason and in the draft.
Right.
I don't know, man. I'm not trying to even...
He said it. He's the one saying it, so...
I'm not even... I know my division well enough to say that if Geno Smith plays in the same... or at least near... like legitimately near what he was playing in 2022... they're gonna give the Niners a problem. Like no, they are.
I hope so.
They
I
are.
hope so. I would love to see that, so that division can go, a little bit more competitive and.
Because now they have 3 real receivers.
Right.
3.
Yeah, I mean that's the Seahawks are really building up, and I think they did pretty solid. And my grade for Jason, obviously, A, because he fell down to the Seahawks. He shouldn't have fallen that low, but it is what it is.
I actually am surprised the fact though that the first receiver taken was 20th overall, because it's like, yeah, the receivers were not super eye popping, but at the same time, it's like I don't think I've really seen it be like that. I've always seen a receiver, at least 1 or 2, for sure get drafted before 20 type.
Exactly.
At least typically.
Yep.
And then those are run of receivers, right? Like 4 picks in a row of receivers.
I mean, my mock draft was pretty much like that. That was going to happen. I obviously had... I had Jordan Addison go to the Chargers, Zay Flowers to the Ravens, and then after the... Well, I had Jackson Smith and Quentin Johnson going back-to-back as well. But yeah, there was a run of receivers. 4 straight receivers.
And then Quentin Johnson, Chargers, 21st overall. I feel like given that I know more of the Chargers because I watch a good amount of their games, I feel like this is a B+. I know they address the needs, but I feel like Quentin Johnson's kind of a project when it comes to receiving. I mean, sometimes he's not super aggressive at the catch point.
Mm-hmm.
He is speedy, but he's not like super speedy.
Right.
He won't blow the top off the defenses. The receivers, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, they're getting older, and I feel like it's almost to the point where Chargers might need another receiver, not just Quentin Johnson.
I think it's a great pickup. They addressed a need because at the end of the year, the wide receivers were the ones that kind of gave out. Allen got hurt, Mike Williams got hurt, Jordan Carter got hurt. Like a lot of these people got hurt. So Quentin Johnson, I agree a B+, A-. He's a tall dude. He joins Mike Williams, who's also a pretty tall guy. So we'll see how the heat goes.
And then Ravens, Zay Flowers, I give that a solid A. I like the move. I feel like giving Lamar what he needs is great for the situation.
Yep.
The Ravens are actually being logical for once.
Yes.
They stopped fiending for defense. Because these dudes, all they were mostly doing is defense.
Yeah.
I'm actually feeling weird right now. The fact that they got OBJ and Zay Flowers. It's like, oh shoot, they actually care about offense now. But
yeah, I mean, I had him projected to the Ravens, Zay Flowers, and reason being is that even though they got OBJ, they got Duvernay, they got the other guy I always keep forgetting.
Bateman.
I keep forgetting Bateman.
And they have good tight ends.
Even though they have all these guys, I felt like they needed just one more piece to complete the puzzle, and they got Zay Flowers, obviously top 4 wide receiver, so solid A as well.
And the Vikings get Jordan Addison. I like the receiver, but I feel like just the team, it doesn't make too much sense to me. Jay Jettis is there. I feel like they need more of a secondary piece. Therefore, I'm going to give this a B, just because I do like Jordan Addison.
I agree. As much as I love Jordan Addison, USC favorite, USC, he's always going to be remembered for his year in USC. I also don't agree with the pick. Bias's side, I think wide receiver was a need, but it was later on. Later on. I think last week I said that. I did say that their biggest need was wide receiver. However, I think at that point, Jordan Addison, best available, but I think they should have gotten secondary, in my humble opinion. So I give it a B-.
Okay, and then Deontay Banks to Giants. I actually predicted that, but 25th overall because all these freaking trades. I don't even know what happened right here, but these teams traded around here.
Yeah.
Because they were initially 25th, but Deontay Banks to Giants 24th overall. I'm going to give that a B+, A- around there. I feel like I love it, but I feel like they could have went like front 7 because...
Yeah, so Deontay Banks, I think, was an okay move. I just feel like they also could have gone front 7. So I'll give it a B-.
Fair. And now, Bills, Dalton Kincaid. Wait, did you say Dalton Kincaid or Deontay Banks?
Dalton Kincaid.
You just said that right now?
No, Deontay Banks.
All right. Okay, Dalton Kincaid. Uh, I give that like a C plus just because Dawson Knox is there. I mean, he's a great tight end.
Yeah.
In college, especially, he showed some certainly, high end receiving skills for a tight end, especially.
Yeah.
But still, C plus. I feel like it was not the biggest need for the Bills. So.
It was not. No. Yeah, like you said, Dawson Knox is the main tight end there, so now they're gonna run a 2 tight end set, which is not a bad idea. But yeah, I understand giving Josh Allen weapons, but I think at that point, giving him a wide receiver or even getting a defensive lineman would have been better option there. Yeah.
And
so,
then
I give it a my bad. I give it a B minus.
Yeah. And then Cowboys get Mozzie Smith. I honestly had to look at him a little bit because I didn't really know.
Mm-hmm.
But given that he was in the first round, I didn't even know who he was. And I feel like that is kind of a need they had, but I'm going to give it a C just because I feel like they had a more glaring need, which is like protection or...
even tight end.
Tight end, yeah.
I agree. No, yeah. Horrible pick.
If Kincaid went to the Cowboys, I would give him that A.
Yeah, horrible. I'm going to say this now. Horrible pick. Horrendous. No Ohio State bias. No Packer bias. It's a horrible pick. Yes, they need defensive line. But you know who was there? Foskey. Breesy. Nolan Smith, who I had projected at the 25th pick. 26th, my bad.
Murphy.
And you go Murphy. And you go Mozzie Smith? Hell, Michael Mayer was there. The Cowboys don't know what they're doing. And I give this an F. I don't care. I'll be brutal.
No.
I'll be frank. The Cowboys could have gone with other 5 players and they messed up. They could have gone with freaking Hyatt at that point, and I would have been like, oh, congrats. Like, they could have gone Will Levis, and I would have given them a higher grade. But it's just sad. It's sad. Even Anton Harrison was there too.
I mean, it seems like you're kind of being biased as a Packers.
I'm not being biased. I'm being factual. That was a bad pick. It really was. They reached.
F. All right, and then the Jazz get Anton Harrison. After what happened, losing Taylor, I'd say this is still
Greg Robinson.
Yeah, this is an A. I feel like it's a good move. They could have probably won defense first, but then again, protection is protection.
Yeah.
A.
Solid A as well.
And then 28th overall, Miles Murphy. I would say that's a fair pick at the value it was at. Apply more pressure. That's what the Bengals need.
Right.
I'm gonna give it also a A.
Well, I was really disappointed on this pick because I thought not that Miles Murphy's a bad player or anything, but given their needs, tight end would have been obviously my choice, and I thought Michael Mayer was going to the Bengals. It didn't happen, so disappointed in that point. But I think Miles Murphy is still a great player. No discredit to him, and I give it a B, a solid B. Yeah.
Fair enough. And then Brian Breesy goes to the Saints. I like that pick, but I'm gonna give it more of like a A minus.
I got this one right. Brian Breesy to the Saints. They need defensive line. They need it badly. They need defensive line, defensive tackles, linebackers. They need it all. Defensive end, they needed it bad. And Brian Breesy solves their problem easily.
Exactly. That's why I give it an A minus. But I don't love him as the prospect because I feel like they could have gotten someone better.
That too. But I give it an A minus as well. Yeah.
And Nolan Smith at 30th overall, I'm gonna give that A plus. Georgia defense to the Eagles at this point. Carter, Smith, Nakobe Dean, what's the other guy's name? Jordan Davis, right?
Yes.
Georgia defense. A plus.
A plus.
Eagles know what they're doing.
I give this an A plus. Like I said, Howie Roseman was cooking in that lab. He was cooking in that draft room. The Philadelphia Dogs, man. They got 4 big defensive players from Georgia, defending champions. Solid pickups, I say. Solid pickups. The Eagles definitely got an A plus in this draft.
Yeah. I think at this point, They're the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
The Super Bowl favorite to me.
I agree.
1,000%.
Yep.
They have the weapons. They have everything.
Yep.
They replenish like this. Like it's crazy to think about that. You
Right,
know?
right.
And then at 31st overall, Felix. I don't know how to say his last name. Uzama. I'm gonna just say Felix Uzama for the Chiefs. I gotta be honest. I didn't really know who he was. So, and the Chiefs do need defense. I saw he was a defensive player. But I'm giving it more like a C. Just because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the Chiefs could have done so many things with this pick, and there could have been a little bit more options than him.
Yeah, I would have preferred Foskey here, or even a wide receiver. Like, obviously there was Hyatt, there was Tinkadell. Like, there was players there.
I give it a C. I don't know. What do you give it?
Oh, I give it a C plus. They addressed a need because they lost Frank Clark, and it's a need, obviously. But I think Foskey was the better prospect overall.
I agree. So who do you think are the three biggest winners and losers of free agency?
Yes. So this is the best part of the podcast, in my opinion. My three big winners are Philadelphia, Arizona, and lastly, Seattle.
I kind of want you to explain why Arizona's one of them, though. I feel like I need elaboration.
Here we go. Philadelphia. Obviously, they got Nolan Smith and they got Jalen Carter. Yes. They got Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. Two top prospects from Georgia. Two, very good, talented players going to a Philadelphia team that has a stacked defense already. The rich get richer. So I give that, their draft was just great. Their first round, great. Seattle, they got Devon Witherspoon and they got Jackson Smith-Njigba. Great pickups. Jackson Smith at that pick, great value, steal. Devon Witherspoon, great corner. You're adding him on with those other great secondary pieces. Solid. They addressed both sides.
So why is Arizona winning for you?
And so now Arizona. I feel like I said previously, the Texans gave up a little too much. I mean, the Texans gave up a little too much to the Cardinals. And the Cardinals are getting, obviously, they got the 12th pick. They got the 33rd pick. They got a first-round pick for next year and a third-round pick for next year as well.
But here's the thing.
Hold on.
They traded back up, and then they lost some of those picks.
But they didn't lose that first-round pick.
Next year?
Yes. And guess what? I don't see the Texans making a playoff run. I don't see the Texans being in the middle of the pack. They're going to be a top 10 team. I mean, a bottom 10 team. So, hey, if the Cardinals don't do good, hey, I mean, they could be up there getting possibly two top 15 picks. And, I'm going to say, if Kyler's the quarterback of the future and D-Hop's gone, there's only one player that the Cardinals should be circling their names on. And he's from Ohio State. And that's my boy. Marvin Harrison Jr. Keep an eye out. That's all I'm going to say. Keep an eye out.
All right, so my three biggest winners. First one, I would say, obviously, Philadelphia. How can this happen?
Right.
How could the Bears just say, oh, Philadelphia, here's the 9th overall pick. Get Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bears. Thanks, you idiots. But Nolan Smith, also a great pick. And I don't even think I need to look at the rest of what they did. Hey, they're a winner.
Yeah.
Top 3 winner,
Definitely.
Honestly, the rest, I had to really think about it. So, I feel like the Seahawks, unfortunately, are there in the top 3 for what they did in the first round. And they got a running back, which I found interesting. But I still feel like, nevertheless, that first round really just struck. They really hit it.
A running back?
They got from the UCLA in the second round.
Yeah, but we're talking about the first round.
Oh, only the first round?
Yeah, only the first round, yeah.
Okay, first round only, yes, of course, Seahawks. And then the third one, let's see. I'll give it to the Texans. I feel like even though they gave up a lot, They still got two very defined pieces, and I'm not the reason why I'm still saying they're still a winner because the first round they really hit it.
Yeah.
And they still did something in the later rounds, but apparently you don't want to talk about that yet. But
yeah. I wouldn't disagree. Texans, they got two of the literally top three freaking prospects in the draft. So I'm not going to discredit their draft choices. I just feel like as a team that's rebuilding, a team that's very young, having those first round picks is very essential. And so giving the Cardinals something like that is very interesting. I don't think it was the best choice. I don't know. They could have given him more later round picks, but a first round pick, yeesh. I hope they don't regret it.
And then the top three losers. Who are the top three losers? I feel like two of them are pretty obvious.
Yeah. So number one, Detroit. Plain and simple, 2 reaches, a running back in the top 10. Yeah. Rough. And I know I was saying just the first round, but I will address that they're later, like their second round picks were very questionable.
Except Branch.
Brian Branch and Hayden Hooker. I hate to say it, but they got a steal in Hooker. 3rd round pick.
Really? You think that's a steal?
I think so. For his value, Hayden Hooker, 3rd round pick, he was projected first round. Even first round, early second round. I think they got a steal in Hooker for that price. And then the other loser is the Falcons, because why the hell did you get Bijan when you could have gotten
exactly, bro. I don't know, bro. They want to be a meme. You
could have gotten Peter Skoronski. You could have gotten Jalen Carter. You could have gotten Tyree Wilson. No, actually, he was already picked up.
Christian Gonzalez.
Probably
not him. They already amped up. But
but
JSN.
Like, if they would have gotten JSN...
Sheesh, bro. I would have even said Levis at this point, bro. Levis over, like, Bijan, bro. Come on.
No, that's a little wild. That's still
a little wild, but
I don't think Will Levis would have been a Falcon. I think they're gonna run with Ritter at least 1 year before they decide on who's next.
I'm kind of scared. I feel like they're tanking for Caleb Williams.
But the last loser I have here is the New York Jets, because simply put it, Aaron Rodgers is a Jet now, and if you want to be a successful team, a Super Bowl winning team, you need offensive line. And like I said previously, they should have been more aggressive in trying to trade up for an offensive line. And instead, they went with a defensive piece. So, I mean, I just think that it's a big step backwards for them.
So, obviously, my biggest losers, Lions. What are we doing here? Gibbs at number 12. And this Iowa Jack Campbell, who isn't supposed to even be technically drafted in the first round. What are we doing? You know?
Right.
Seriously, what are we doing?
I was laughing as a Packers fan. I was laughing.
And at number 2, Falcons. Bijan at number 8, really? You could have gotten Jalen Carter. You could have gotten JSN. You could have gotten freaking even Will Levis, bro. Or an offensive tackle for sure. You could have gotten 4 different things. In my opinion, you could have really gotten 4 different things. And you went Bijan fucking Robinson, bro. Let me be the GM, bro. Like, I feel like I would make Falcons fans happier if I were to select Jalen Carter or JSN, bro.
Yeah, Jalen Carter should have been the pick there. Definitely.
Yeah. And my third one, it's kind of hard for me because I feel like there's a few teams here that can really be in contention.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like when we really think about the context of everything, I'm really feeling the Bills. Believe it or not. I'm feeling the Bills. Tight end is unnecessary right now. Mm-hmm. You're pretty much almost there.
Yeah. Front
7 piece, protection, or freak, man. Like, even secondary.
Right.
I would have been like, that's better than getting a tight end when you already pretty much have a solidified tight end.
Yeah.
Even a receiver.
It was very shocking. Very surprising pick. Yeah. Yeah, great. He's a great prospect, and obviously the top 2 tight end. But to the Bills, there's better options. Yeah. And so now I want to obviously kind of lead on to the
later rounds. I would say the more obvious players. We're not gonna go into detail. Yes. We'll be here forever.
So obviously, Michael Mayer, he went to the Raiders. Great replacement.
Love that pick. I actually can't believe the Raiders were logical today. Or these last 2 days.
They traded up and they got Michael Mayer. I was very saddened because I thought we were getting Michael Mayer and we ended up getting
that guy.
that one
What's
guy.
his name? Musgrove?
Musgrove. Yes, Musgrove from
Oregon State.
yeah. But yeah, they traded up with I can't remember now.
But be honest, how much do you dislike that?
I mean it is what it is. They traded up above us, or we traded down. Yeah, we traded down, and yeah,
there was too many trades at that point. I can't even keep track.
We traded down, so the Raiders got a solid pick there. So it is what it is. They get the replacement. Great pick for the Raiders. Now we got Joey Porter Jr., who was the 32nd pick, went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Great pickup. Didn't expect him to drop that low. Obviously, I had him going to the Steelers at the 17th pick, or one of those picks, and he fell down to their laps.
And 33rd overall, Will Levis, I had him going to the Titans, but 11th overall, but he still went to the Titans.
Yeah.
I don't love Will Levis as a prospect, but there's some intangibles there, obviously, but I gotta be honest, I don't think he's a franchise guy. I don't think he is.
I don't agree. I mean, yeah, I agree as well. He's not the answer for any team, in my opinion. I feel like he's going to be like a Mitchell Trubisky type of guy. Like, there was some hype. Yeah, there's a lot of hype, but he was...
There's some intangibles, but...
I just feel like literally Trubisky and Will Levis are like the same guy, but this time around, people are like, okay, we're not going to be dumb enough to freaking draft Will Levis top 5. We're going to wait our chances and maybe trade up later on, but... Yeah, Will Levis...
Titans need a receiver, though.
Yeah, the Titans, they could have had Jackson Smith, and they got someone else, so... Yeah, it is what it is. Obviously, other quarterbacks, Hendon Hooker, he went to the Detroit Lions. I think it's a great move. I don't know about you. What do you think?
I don't like the move too much, but...
I mean, as a Packers fan, I'm sad because, damn, they got probably going to be their next franchise quarterback. But
really? You think Hooker's really...
No, I mean, I'm saying that they're probably going to move on from Goff like next year. And then Hooker will take over. But will he be great? It just depends on how he recovers from an injury.
That's why. The injury, bro. The injury. I do like some of the games he had, obviously, but it might be a trap.
So here's one of the biggest drop-offs that I was very surprised with was Osiris Torrance going to the Buffalo Bills.
Where overall?
I forgot what he was in the 3rd round pick. Later down, like really low. That's a solid pickup. That's a great pickup by the Bills. They redeemed themselves. Osiris Torrance was obviously a 1st round talent. I thought he was gonna go to the Seahawks, but to the Bills. Hey, I mean,
I wanted him, man. But we still got our O-lineman. Supposedly he didn't allow a sack for TCU in 2022, so I'll take it. I'll still take it.
Pray that he's good.
I gotta pray that he's good because if he's not, man. But I liked our some of our selections too. That guy out of Tennessee, I already forgot his name, but we got a guy out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Defensive player, I like that pick. Good value. And then we got a defensive tackle, maybe Aaron Donald's replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Out of what's college was it? Wake Forest. Wake Forest.
Well, you guys could have had Foskey too. Foskey ended up going to the New Orleans Saints, which was...
Foskey went to the Saints?
Yes. So they really, like, after losing Davenport and losing all these other guys, OG, like, they literally are redeeming themselves. So
they're instant rebuilding it.
Foskey and Breesy, solid.
That's good. That's I feel like they really know obviously what they needed to do. They lost a lot in free agency. They're trying to replenish. I don't know if I like it, but I love what the Eagles did.
Yeah, definitely. And another, we already kind of addressed it or kind of hinted at it. Brian Branch going to the Lions. That was their finally first solid pick. Finally, after freaking like going through obviously a tough...
having 3 picks, having 3 bites at it.
Yeah.
Laporta, believe it or not, I don't think it was too bad of a pick. Just he shouldn't have gone over Michael Mayer.
Yeah, he did. No.
But he did actually have decent yardage for, and that quarterback that the Iowa has was bad.
Yeah.
So he had decent yardage. So he probably could have had better numbers somewhere else. But nevertheless, man, I feel like Meyer is obviously more
Complete
right now.
Yes. But Iowa produces tight ends. You know who was there, right?
Kittle, right?
Yes, George Kittle.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe and Hawkinson. That's what I'm saying. Maybe the Lions.
They have something cooking.
They low key probably got to steal in Porter.
Yeah.
Laporta.
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe he was underrated.
Yeah. So I was actually laughing at that selection because I was like, yeah, where's Michael Mayer? Why didn't you get Michael Mayer? But the more you talk to me about like Laporta and stuff, he could be a solid pickup.
He can still be a solid pickup, but
yes.
I still feel like Michael Mayer would have been a little more logical for sure.
Yes, and so on to some receivers that went in the third and fourth.
Second and third,
my bad. Jalen Hyatt, New York Giants.
Third round, bro. Jalen Hyatt, the third round to Giants. I love that because that's great value. Yeah. The Giants already had addressed other things, and they're like, "Oh, screw it, we'll get Jalen Hyatt in the third round." I don't know why he fell that much.
It's sad, honestly.
But it's crazy to me to think about how we for sure predicted a good amount of players in the first round that did not go there.
No, like I had Hyatt going first round. I had Torrance going first round, but like Mayer going first round. Like it's crazy to me. Some of these guys falling all the way down there. And another wide receiver was Tank Dell.
To the Texans?
Is it Tank Dell or Tank Dell?
Tank Dell.
Yeah.
Tank Dell. I like the move because the Texans do need receiver.
Right.
And he did put up some numbers in Houston, but I don't know if he's a receiver one,
No, I don't think so.
But for sure, he could be a starter still, in my eyes.
He stays in Houston, so that's a good factor for him, I guess. And another one, Jordan Reed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've never heard of him. I gotta be honest. I never heard of him.
Well,
Have you heard of him?
People are saying he's a mini AJ Brown. So
I've never heard of him, bro. Who did he play for?
He played for Michigan State.
Michigan State. I actually am honest. I've never heard of Jordan Reed. Bro.
I was saddened because I was like, Hyatt, you're there, Hyatt, and no, he didn't go there. So.
You know who surprised me because they went kind of earlier than I thought?
Who?
Mingo, out of Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yes. What team did they go to?
The Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, they needed, obviously, the DJ
He
Moore.
won 39th.
Yeah, they lost DJ Moore, so they need a wide receiver. They needed it.
I don't love Mingo that early.
Nah, Mingo, no. I think they could have gotten Adele or Hyatt, but... Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully it works out for them for sure.
At the end of the day, I guess these NFL teams want the guy that they like the most. So.
Exactly. And your boy, B.J. Ojolari from LSU, didn't go in the first round.
He went to the Cardinals, right?
Yes, he went to the Cardinals.
That's a decent pick, but I feel like the Cardinals should have addressed that need in the first round, if I had to be honest.
Yeah, wow, they could have had Will Anderson or Tyree Wilson or...
Tyree Wilson. Will Anderson, they could have had that too.
Yeah, so that's pretty
I feel like Will Anderson low-key probably thought he was going to be a Cardinal.
I think so too. I think a lot of people had him projected going to the first round to the Cardinals, but we saw what the Texans did, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Another pick that I guess really liked was Tully from USC going to the Chargers.
Yeah. Bro, how is he not talked about, bro? Like I've kind of forgot about him until I remembered. I'm like, oh shoot, like
Tully was a dog.
He was one of the best defensive players in college football.
He was just right behind Will Anderson for it was another award for defensive players.
Yeah, like bro, you shouldn't be falling to the second round. He could have been in the first round.
Yeah, honestly.
I honestly completely forgot about him.
Actually, no, I don't think it was first round specifically, but he was definitely like.
No, he was in the late second round.
Yeah, he got selected by the Chargers in the middle. He got selected in the middle of the second round. But he could have slipped into the first round. He could have maybe slipped in the first round. But great selection by the Chargers. Very versatile player, and obviously going to be playing alongside Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. he's gonna learn a lot of things. I say.
He's gonna learn a lot of things, certainly.
Yes. And I think that's pretty much the most notable names that I have here, that or at least that we've discussed. So any final takeaways that you have about the draft? Like, were you surprised? Like, what do you think? Like,
Nah, I mean, I was just surprised by some teams, man, good and bad.
yeah,
Certainly, what surprised me the most is just how much Cardinals were moving around,
right.
and how dumb the Lions were, and how dumb the Falcons were, and I don't know. Some teams really just made me question why. What do you want your fan base to hate you? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it was very shocking with the amount of trades that happened, but it made it entertaining because they were like, oh my God, who's like, the Texans went down to the third pick. Oh, the Bills also traded up, I believe. They traded
down.
The Jags traded down. All these picks were just,
man.
it was just, like, it was coming out of left field that honestly I couldn't keep track. When, like, I was so hyped when the Texans traded down the third. I was like, whoa. Like, who are they going to get? I'm like, are they going to reach
No,
for...
I knew they were going to get defensive once they did that.
Yeah, I guess, like, at that point, like, I was like, okay, the ESPN reporters were right, like, or the analysts were right in saying that they wanted a defensive piece, but I didn't think they were going to literally go down to trade back to back.
I wouldn't have thought that they were going to really jump the gun like that.
Yep.
But the picks were great.
Yeah, honestly. And I think this draft was very...
Very entertaining.
Very entertaining, and I guess tomorrow we'll find out, like, rounds 4th through 7th, like, who else goes out there. And maybe I'll look and see any notable names. Like, I know DTR is still there.
Stetson
Bennett is still there. Other pieces are there. I know Zach Charbonnet went to the Seahawks. I didn't mention that one, but Zach Charbonnet went to the Seahawks. Great pickup by the Seahawks. But now they have Walker and Charbonnet. It's gonna be interesting.
I think he's more of a backup. I just don't know why they selected him that early.
Yeah. I think Charbonnet could have fallen a little bit more down to the 3rd round. So
I think that guy out of Minnesota, the running back, he's low-key slept on.
who?
Abraham. I think that's how you say last name. But
Well, who'd he go with?
he hasn't. I don't think he's gotten selected.
Oh well, hopefully. I mean, if he's a sleeper, like he'll be there. He'll be there for us. Nah, playing. We don't need him. We got AJ Dillon and my boy Jones.
But we'll see what happens next week. I feel like we'll just talk a little bit more about the draft, a little bit more about what happens.
Yeah.
And start talking about dynasty.
Dynasty. Oh.
Dynasty.
What do you mean by dynasty?
Rookies. You know how.
Oh, okay.
Rookies.
I honestly will have some early takes that I would love to say right now, but yeah, I'll save it till then. I'll save it till then because I think there's some rookies that are gonna stand out this year, and some that you should take in your fantasy team right away. Like I know I was very heavy on Christian Watson, and the first half of the year he was rough to watch and injured, but at the end, boy was balling. If you had Christian Watson at the end of the year, you were winning your league. And then obviously
I eliminated the guy who had him, so.
hey, but you had Olave, like Garrett Wilson, you had Brees Hall, like there was guys. So I think next week we'll be discussing that, like you said. What fantasy players to look for, what fantasy players to avoid. So yeah, get ready for that.
And maybe we'll play a little game of who would you take and why. You know what I'm saying? Like
Will
CJ
Levis.
Stroud
Will
or
Levis
Bryce
be the
Young?
#1 quarterback?
Will Levis or CJ Stroud? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Zaire Gibbs or Zach Charbonnet.
You need a drink.
I'm getting tired too.
Put that in.
Okay.
But nevertheless, man, I mean, this pretty much concludes the episode. We're going to talk a lot about dynasty and rookies and overall, you know, how we felt about the draft, even some more. Because it's not over yet, but we're filming now.
Yes.
And we'll end this on a good note. And y'all have a good day, good night, good morning, whenever you're watching this. Because we're literally filming this at midnight for y'all.
And just like you know, us, we're going to look for sleepers next week as well. So, yeah, you know, continue supporting our channel, subscribe, like, share. Like, this is just the beginning. Episode 10, baby. Episode 10.
We driven.
10
We're driven out here.
to 200. To 100. We're going to get there.
Bye.